You ever have someone try to steal your house right in front of your face while dragging their luggage up your front porch? I'm not talking metaphors. I mean, a woman literally showed up with her entire family and told me I had 24 hours to vacate because she planned to move in. And that was just the beginning of the hell she unleashed. My name's Jamal Parker. I'm 33. I work from home as a data analyst, and for the past 3 years, I've lived in a quiet little 2-story colonial on Willow Bend Drive. Nothing fancy, just peaceful. I keep to myself. Lawn's always trimmed. Amazon packages get delivered like clockwork. Life was good. Until Margaret Langford showed up. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was sitting at my kitchen table in joggers and a hoodie reviewing spreadsheets when I heard this knock. No, not even a knock. A bang. Like the cops or someone who thought they owned the place. I opened the door, and there she is. Late 50s. Bleach blonde bob. Black blazer. Clipboard like it's a weapon. Behind her? Her husband Dean, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. A kid dragging luggage, and 2 suitcases the size of small refrigerators. "Are you the tenant here?" she asked, her eyes scanning me like I was an intruder. "I own this house," I replied, already sensing the storm behind her smile. She raised an eyebrow, fake surprised. "Oh, I see. I'm Margaret Langford, president of the Willow Bend Homeowners Association. We've had some complaints about your presence here. Now look, I've lived here 3 years. No parties, no loud music, and I cut my grass so precisely I've had neighbors compliment the symmetry." But her tone, it wasn't about noise. It was about me. She flipped through that clipboard like she was about to declare war. Noise violations, property neglect, suspicious activity. "You mean Amazon deliveries and my dog barking twice a week?" I asked. She ignored me. "The HOA has voted unanimously. You have 24 hours to vacate the premises." I actually laughed. "Lady, I own this home. Outright. You're not evicting me." She didn't flinch. "The HOA bylaws grant us authority." "No, they don't," I said, already pulling out my phone to record. "I read every word before I bought this place. There's nothing in there about forced eviction." And then her kid piped up, "Mommy, can we go inside now? The bags are heavy." That's when it clicked. This wasn't an HOA visit. This woman came here to move in. I looked at her, then back at her luggage. "So let me get this straight. You're giving me 24 hours to leave my house, while your entire family just happens to be waiting here packed up and ready?" Her mask slipped. "This neighborhood was built for certain families. Your kind lowers property values." There it was. Not even coded language anymore. Dean whispered, "Margaret, let's go." She snapped, "No, we have rights." I kept recording. "So you're saying your family deserves this house more than I do?" "We're a family," she said, voice rising. "You're just one guy, and frankly, you don't fit in here." "Right," I said. "Because of my hoodie or my skin?" "I didn't say that," she hissed. "You didn't have to." I gave her 60 seconds to leave before I called the police. She stormed off screaming, "This isn't over." And man, she wasn't lying. The moment she left, I started digging. Backed up the video, called my brother. He's a paralegal. Sent a copy to my friend Marcus. But I wasn't just protecting myself. Something about how organized she was. This wasn't spontaneous. Turns out, Margaret helped write the original HOA rules back in 2018. Buried deep was a clause about neighborhood harmony and appropriate residency. Legal-sounding racism. But here's the kicker. That language was removed in 2021 after a county discrimination lawsuit. Margaret? She was still pretending it applied. Then I found out she and Dean had been trying to buy a house in this neighborhood for 2 years. 4 offers, all rejected. Then suddenly she becomes HOA president. Coincidence? I think not. That night, I get a call from an unknown number. It's her. Margaret. I think we got off on the wrong foot. She coos. Oh, the foot where you threatened to steal my house? Well, there's pressure from other residents. Maybe 30 days would be more reasonable. I asked if she was withdrawing her request. Well, not exactly. She was still trying to take my house. Just now she wanted to seem reasonable. Then she said the wildest thing. You could live anywhere, Mr. Parker. Why cause problems here when there are communities more suited to your lifestyle? More suited? How? I asked. You know, people with shared values, similar backgrounds. Racist code again. I baited her more. What happens if I say no? She paused, then ice cold. Then the HOA may have to escalate things. You wouldn't want that. She didn't know I'd been recording since hello. The next day I got a knock at the door. Not Margaret. A woman. Mid-70s, sharp eyes, warm smile. Mr. Parker, I'm Dorothy Holmes, retired civil rights attorney. I live nearby. I heard Margaret paid you a visit. I invited her in. She laid out a folder, thick with documents. 3 years ago, Margaret drove out a Latino family by finding them over a vegetable garden. Then a South Asian family, claiming cooking odors. Each time, someone connected to Margaret moved into the house that followed. She wasn't just racist, she was organized. Dorothy said, "We've been tracking her for years, but we needed someone who wouldn't fold." I looked at her. She picked the wrong house this time. Dorothy smiled. No, she picked the right one. By Friday, I'd spoken to 5 neighbors. Most had no idea there was an HOA. Turns out, there isn't. Margaret invented one. Total fraud. That night, she came back, this time with Dean, her kid, an older woman, and 2 men, all holding papers. "Mr. Parker," she said loudly, "you've ignored all warnings. We're initiating formal eviction." She handed me a letterhead document, fake case number, legal-sounding language. I read it and smiled. "Who signed this?" "The board," she said. "I'm president, Dean's treasurer, my mother-in-law's secretary, and James Patterson is VP. "James Patterson?" I pointed at the guy awkwardly holding a clipboard. "Your son's godfather, right?" She stiffened. "We're democratically elected." "By who?" "That's confidential." "Margaret," I said, raising my phone. "I've spoken to every homeowner on this block. Nobody voted. Nobody even knew you were HOA president. You're running a fake organization." She exploded. "People like you don't belong here. You're destroying everything this neighborhood stands for." I turned to her little council. "Are you all part of this fraud?" James looked like he wanted to melt into the ground. "I didn't know," he mumbled. "I thought this was legit." Dean muttered, "Margaret, stop talking. Let's go." But she kept yelling. "This was a nice place before your kind moved in." And just like that, boom, I had her. On camera, racial motive, fraud, threats, all of it. She stormed off screaming. But I wasn't done. Dorothy and I forwarded everything. Recordings, documents, to the county DA and federal investigators. That Monday, Margaret's house was raided, FBI, mail fraud, wire fraud, civil rights violations. She called me in tears, screaming, "You ruined everything." I said, "No, Margaret, you did that all by yourself." And now, she's facing 15 years in federal prison for trying to steal a house she never deserved to begin with. Some people call it karma. I just call it justice.